Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon, and this is episode 129. I'll say hello first. My mind's going so quickly sometimes when I get started, I sometimes forget the hellos. So hellos to all the new viewers, thank you for joining us, and a big hello and thank you to all returning viewers. We are getting ready to wrap up our Leaves of Change knit along. So super excited, I'm looking around and I have so much to show you today. So much to show you. And I put mine somewhere. But there is a finished object thread, so if you need to know the pattern I'm talking about, it is written by myself. It is a big crescent shaped lace shawl and I love seeing all the finished objects. I'm so excited. So the knit along officially closes tomorrow, and I'm thinking I might give you Friday too. I'm like, I'm not going to record till next week to pull the winner, and if you need a day or so to finish up or block, I want to give that to you. So as long as the FO thread is open, the photo only thread is open, and you got yours done, put it in there. And then next week we will draw for the winner, and the prizes are... A wonderful viewer, Sarah, donated a skein of Volmiza in the twin base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon in the Moses colorway, which is such a beautiful blue. I mean, it is this beautiful, deep royal blue. So lovely. And then the wonderful guys behind Leading Men Fiber Arts, Steve and Andy, generously donated a skein of their Soliloquy base, which is 100% superwash British BFL. It is a fingering weight, and you get 657 yards, and this is the yarn base that I use to make my sample. So, thank you, Steve and Andy. Thank you, Sarah, for donating wonderful prizes. And then, as of Friday, because today's only the 30th, as of Friday, you get to cast on your toys for the RetroLemon's Stuffy Love knit along. So it's time to show your love of the stuffies and knit them as gifts for Christmas or birthdays or special occasions or just for fun or just because there's one you haven't made yet that you wanted to. So I know I have several that I need to get done in the month of August, so it'll help keep me motivated as well because I do like to participate in my own knit alongs. So I will be right there with you, and you can knit any pattern as long as it's one of mine. You can enter as many animals as you can get done. Make sure they have their own posting in the finish object photo only thread. Very important. Winners will be chosen by random number as usual. Trying to think of anything else. Any yarn you want. Just got to be done, started and finished in the month of August. Simple enough. And then I think we have officially decided after some chatter after last week's episode that September and October, so got to get August out of the way, get your stuffies done, and then September, October, we are going to do a striped sweater knit along. Because both of the sweater patterns I was talking about last week that I was really interested in both had stripes. I love striped sweaters. They're probably my absolute favorite. Something about the stripes. And I was thinking about doing like, we could knit either or, and then someone's like, yeah, I like this, but I really kind of want to knit this, and I was talking, and everyone agreed to striped sweater. So, time to start planning out what sweater pattern, picking out the yarn, ordering it if you need to, finding buttons, any of that fun stuff in the meantime if you want. Simple rules, you can use any pattern, any yarn, it just has to stripes. And when I say stripes, I don't mean self-striping. You can use a self-striping yarn as long as you're using another one with it. Like you actually have to change yarns for stripes. So I'm excited. I'm already like bagging up yarn. Like there's 3 sweaters I'd love to get out in those 2 months. I'm not making any promises. But I have goals. Even if I don't get them all finished, I at least want them casted on. I love stripes. Whew, okay. Trying to think. Like, my head is spinning. What's next? Finished objects. So after last week, I really didn't know what to knit next. Like, I was at a loss. Big time. So then I got kind of thinking, like, because I want to knit all the things. That's the problem. It's not that I don't, there's nothing I want to knit. I want to knit everything. So, I'm like, you know, I really kind of wanted to do kind of the knit to zero type thing. I just want old things off the needles. I'm so sick of seeing the project pages as a work in progress on my Ravelry thing. There are things that I just need to, it's like, suck it up, buttercup, and get it done. So, that's what I did. I finally was like, I'm going to power through this. So, I was going through some stuff, what day was it? Thursday of last week or something? It was towards the end of the week. It wasn't Friday. Yeah, it wasn't Friday. I don't think. Thursday, I think, of last week. Sorry, I'm thinking. The brain's turning here. I finally found the pattern to my autumn shawl that I started almost a year ago. When I put a picture of the finished object up on Instagram, I think I put 9 months and 27 days, and then I'm like thinking back, I'm like, no, it was 10 months and 27 days. Instagram really needs to let you go back and edit. Some of my Instagram things, they read like gibberish because my fingers can't type as fast as my head can think. So anyways, just a few days short of 11 months on the needles, I finished my autumn shawl. It's huge. It's stinking ridiculously huge. So, trying to get it all in. So, I had finished the main body of the shawl, the entrelac part, and then I got to the ruffle. I get intimidated by the stupidest things, but I got intimidated by this cobweb ruffle, and I set it aside. And when I set it aside, I didn't put the pattern back in the bag. I set the pattern down on my desk. And I always talk about putting things on my desk. Like, oh, I forgot to show you this because it was on my desk. Because my desk is piled. So I was trying to clean off the desk because I do that every once in a while. And then I found the pattern. So I'm like, you know what? I found the pattern. I was kind of like hem-hawing about what to knit next. I'm gonna finish this. So I cast it on Thursday evening, and it was like almost 400 stitches. Like, it was a ridiculous amount of stitches. And it took me forever just to cast them all on. But I did it, and I got one row knit. So then I took it and I worked on it at the knit shop. Friday? Like I said, I was just powering through it. Like, I'm just like, I wanted to set it down because I totally had something else to work on. I'm like, no, just get it done. Like, I didn't want to knit on it anymore. It was, the rows were so long. And then I had to, so you knit the body of the shawl, and then you knit the ruffle separate because you have to drop a bunch of stitches. And then I didn't understand how to attach the ruffle to the shawl. It was making no sense to me. So then I'm sitting there and I'm talking it out loud with the LYS owner because she is just fabulous and is really good at helping people figure out patterns. And then I'm like, oh, duh. Like, they're explaining how to do a 3-needle bind off by attaching the ruffle to the body, but they're not calling it a 3-needle bind off, and nowhere in the pattern does it say to bind off. It's just saying to knit the stitches from the body of the shawl and the ruffle together. That's all it's saying. So it's not saying to bind it off. And I'm like reading, I'm like, oh, she's having you do a 3-needle bind off, not calling it that. And never saying anywhere in the pattern the words bind off. But anyways, people reported that they didn't have enough stitches for the ruffle. Like, they cast out X amount extra stitches, and then they needed an extra skein of yarn because the pattern called for 10 balls of JoJoland Rhythm, which is what I used. This is the Sunflower colorway, and I think the color number is like M24. I only used 9. Everyone else is saying, oh, order an extra skein, you're going to need it for the bind off, or for the ruffle. And I didn't. I actually had 2 skeins left over. I only used 9. And I ordered 11 when I ordered it. Because they're just 50-gram balls. So, it is shades of green, blue, yellow, and red. Very primary kind of colors. And it is big. It is, like I said, when I wrap it around me, it is wider than my arm span. So you can kind of, I totally think this will be nice in the fall, hence the name Autumn, and why I picked these colors. They're very autumnal. To wrap around. Now, it's scratchy. It's 100% wool. It's not super wash. I really don't like it on my neck. So, but I'm thinking if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, maybe a turtleneck, or a collared shirt, like I love my plaid button-up shirts, this would be fine, you know. Even on my arms, it's not too bad. I just don't like it on my neck. I would never knit this again. Not because it was a bad knit or anything like that. It just took forever, and it's just one of those things that you're like, okay, I knit it, move on. Like, it's just not one of those things I would knit again. I mean, otherwise, the pattern was great, except for kind of the instructions for the ruffle. And I know that's what a lot of other people had said in their project notes as well. But it is done. Off the needles. I really do like it. This is actually going to go live at my knit shop for a little bit, because she has some JoJo Land Rhythm, and we don't have a shop sample out of it. And the LYS is part of the yarn tour coming up. So if you are in Northeast Ohio, going to be in Northeast Ohio in September after Labor Day, it's from after Labor Day through the end of through September. There is a shop hop. They're calling it the Yarn Discovery Tour, and I think if you go to yarndiscoverytour.com, there's 18 different shops on the tour, and you have 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, something like that, to go and do the tour. So I think this is going to go live at the shop through the month of September, so that we have a sample of this yarn. And that was a big motivation too, to get it done, because I took it in to get help with it, and then I was like, look, I didn't buy the yarn there. I bought the yarn way before I knew about the shop. But I was like, you carry it and it's done. I mean, I want it back, but you know, you were more than welcome to borrow it, and the shop owner was thrilled. So that's where that's going. Next up, I have another finished object. I'm so excited. So, I finished my Monomania cardigan. So it is Monomania by Ann Weaver. I knit it out of Madeline Tosh TML, or Tosh Merino Light. Let's see. Smokestack is the gray. Window pane is like the aqua. Grasshopper is the green. And Baltic is the blue. With the exception of window pane. Window pane's been retired as a color, but the rest are current colors. And I did not trim off my ends, because I need to reblock it. So all my ends, I don't cut my ends off until after I've blocked it. Because I have found if I cut them off before I block it, sometimes they kind of come undone and look kind of sloppy. It's a little small. I mean, I could put it on, but to button it, the buttons would gap. And, you know, that is one thing that will turn me off of a pattern, is if it is a finished sweater. Like, you're putting the pattern out there and the buttons gap. I'm like, it looks sloppy. I don't like it. Just personal preference, I guess, because people knit sweaters and have buttons gapping. But it just looks like the sweater's too small for you. So you had to go and block all the pieces before you seamed it together. And I blocked them. I'm not very good at blocking. I'm really not. So I blocked them to the measurements the best that I could. But I think now that it's finally put together, I'm going to reblock it and try to... Did you hear that? That was George, if you heard that. He's out there whining. He's the most vocal cat I've ever had. He's mad because he's not in here with me. But he wasn't in here when I started, so he's out of luck. But this is the first sweater that I've ever had to set in the sleeves, and that's what was holding me off. Like, the pieces have all been done. I even blocked it forever ago, and I was just nervous about putting in the sleeves, and I think I did pretty good. I made sure that the stripes all match up. I'm very happy with it. Like I said, I just need to reblock it. And if it still is a little small after that, I still hope to lose a few more pounds, and then it'll fit perfect. So, not sweating it at all. The buttons I got, I love them. Love, love, love them. These are exactly what I wanted. Metal buttons. They looked a little weathered. Let me see them. But they're very heavy. So I don't know if these are the buttons that'll stay on there, or if I'll have to go with a lighter button. But they're very heavy metal buttons. Next up, I have one more finished object. I've been so productive. I didn't even have this started last week, because this is what I started Wednesday after I recorded, because I knew I had to do it. And then when I found the instructions for the shawl, I went with that. So I finished this. It is a Herbivore. It starts with an H, so somebody is, oh, a Herbivore. It's an Herbivore. Anyways, it is a Stephen West pattern. It is the first Stephen West pattern I have ever knit. It's just not my thing. It's a shop sample, because these are not my colors. Although it does remind me of, like, Blueberry Cobbler, because it's shades of purples and blues. And then there's a very, very light purpley tan, like, purpley cream color, and reminds me of Blueberry Cobbler. The yarn is nice. It is Mirasol Hachito, which is something new we got into the shop. It's very soft. It's a fingering weight, but it almost looks like a heavier fingering weight because it does not have a tight twist. So it's a little more lofty. Super soft, really nice to work with. Just not my kind of pattern, not my colorway, and I just wanted it off the needles. See? Yeah, this, I don't even know how to make this work. Like I said, I would, like this, I don't know. I'm not a Stephen West fan. I'm sure he is a delightful person. I give him credit for his designs. He's obviously had a lot of success for it. It's just not my aesthetic. I'm not into geometric shaped, very just, I like lacy and round. I like things with a lot of roundness and not points, and I don't even know what to do with it. Like I said, for me, I just could not find, I played with it in the mirror and I'm like, I cannot find a way to wear this where I don't feel like it looks ridiculous on me. She got like a hair that's driving me nuts, I'm sorry. But it is done. I mean, like I said, the yarn was wonderful to knit with, just not my color. I'm not a purple girl. And, it's done. Up next, that's it for finished objects. I had 3 this week, 2 of which were old. I started the Monomania sweater like back in late March or something like that, mid to late March. I was hoping to have it done for Easter, and that was a fail. So now I have works in progress. I have 2. I've casted on 2 new things. The first of which is a sweater for my husband, because I decided if I'm going to cast on a sweater and I'm waiting to cast on for our Stripy Sweater knit along, I will cast on my husband's sweater because he has been patiently waiting for it, and I have the yarn for it. So I have like it's top down. It is a raglan. It's a raglan Henley, and I have the top. So the yarn that I'm knitting with, it is gray. Very boring gray. So does not excite me, but it's what he wanted. I am using Ella Rae Classic Superwash Heathers. And it is color number 118. I knit my Miranda out of the same yarn, just a different color. I knit out of blue. And I really like the way it is washed and held up. I'm very, very happy with it. And the pattern, I love this bag. It's huge. It's my giant Girl Cave bag sweater bag. It's huge. It's been sitting in this bag. I'm like, it's the perfect bag for the sweater. So I'm knitting the pattern out of Knits Men Want. I've had this book for a couple years now, looking for the pattern. It is a raglan sleeved Henley, and that's the sweater on this page. So my husband pretty much wanted it to look like the one in the picture. He's a guy, doesn't deviate too far. He liked it. He likes the Henley style shirts and sweaters. He just wanted it simple and gray. Yay. Boring. And I guess like just coming off knitting myself a gray sweater, at least it was Madeline Tosh. But knitting myself a gray sweater, I'm like, more gray. I'm even wearing gray today. I feel like this shirt keeps bunching up funny. I don't know. Anyways, this will probably be the only sweater I make out of this book because I really don't like the way the patterns are set up. I thought I would. Sorry. I bought this book after Steve, Dramatic Knits, my buddy, reviewed it, and I thought, okay, a guy's point of view, really great, the sweaters and stuff. My husband liked most of the stuff in there, and I thought, oh, it has a wide range of sizes and instructions for your gauge. So you can pick almost any yarn that's a light worsted, and just swatch and gauge it. So they don't really tell you how the charts work. It's a lot of assumption that you're just supposed to know, hey, these numbers along the side here, those are the stitches per inch. Or, yeah, stitches per inch. Now, I thought so. Like, I'm reading it over, and it's the only way that made sense. But since Steve and I are, like this now, after ZK, I texted him. I'm like, hey, Steve, can you help a knitter out? I was like, I know you have this book. I'm thinking, because I bought it per your recommendation. I just wanted to make sure that these numbers meant stitches per inch and blah, blah, blah. So he texted me back very soonly. I assume he probably had to pull the book out because he probably had no clue what I was talking about. And confirmed, yes, I was right. But I just feel like between the sets of numbers, there's not enough direction. Like, there's lots of numbers and then not enough filler to know what those, what you're supposed to do. So I am so confused at this point with the pattern. And this pattern, makes me feel like an idiot, to be honest. I'm reading this like, I'm a fairly intelligent person. I'm not claiming to be the smartest person on the planet, but I'm like, I've knit a lot of patterns. I've knit more than a handful of sweaters now. This has me confused. I'm just like, I am confused and puzzled, and I feel like I need more information. So I kind of stalled out with it. Honestly. I mean, I just started it. I mean, I started it 2 days ago. Monday I started. Today's Wednesday. I mean, Now I got a hair on my lip. I don't know. But I'll figure it out, right? And it could have just been, by the time I got through that part, I started it, I cast it out, I got a few rows in, went grocery shopping, came back, finished that part, set it down, came back to it, and I think I came back to it later in the day, and I was like, what? Just thinking I was tired. So I went to pick it up yesterday, and I once again was really confused. And then I cleaned all day yesterday. I did not knit a stitch until 8:30 at night, because all of a sudden I have this, my husband teased me, he's like, it's like you're nesting. I wanted to clean the house. I cleaned the house. I sorted through things, and we have tons of stuff to go to Goodwill, and I got tons of stuff gathered up to go to the recycling center, and just tons of stuff that I'm I want to purge. I am feeling very overwhelmed by my stash. I think when you hit a very large amount, and I see my stash all the time. I have it in cubbies. I have it in clear bins. It's not tucked in a closet. It's not hidden under the bed. I'm always kind of confused by the people who are like, oh, I have to sneak this in when my husband's not looking. And I don't have that, I guess. My husband doesn't care. I mean, his thing is if we can pay the bills, and he knows where I am and who I'm with, you know, kind of thing. Like, he knows I'm not out with shady people, and he knows I'm not out, you know, drinking or doing other things. You know, he really doesn't care. So I don't have that, oh, I gotta sneak this into the house. I'm like, yeah, look what I bought. But I'm feeling very overwhelmed by it, because I know I have a lot. And I know I have a lot of sweater quantities. And I feel like I have not been cranking out the amount of sweaters that I should for the amount of sweater quantities that I have. So I'm going to try really, really hard. And that's all I want now is sweater quantities. Like, I'm like to the point where I have so much sock yarn in single skeins. But I'm feeling very overwhelmed. So yesterday it was all about cleaning, and today I cleaned out a whole closet that needed it desperately. So yesterday evening, I finally sat down and I casted on the, what is it, Cladonia? I always want to call it Caldonia, but it's Cladonia shawl. So that's it. It's in black and white. It's by Kristen Kapoor. She writes fabulous patterns. So well written, at least to this point. It's easy peasy. So I knit on it for a few hours last night and an hour this morning. And you switch colors. So it is striped at the top. And then after it's striped, it's like it's a half circle shawl. So it's striped, and then it'll have a lace panel, and then like it's like this lacy picot bind off. I'm like, oh, I hate picots. But I love the look of the shawl, so it should be pretty. So I'm doing a green and an aqua. I don't know what it is with green and aqua lately, or green and blue in general. I think it was Sally from Idaho. She's like, now, am I remembering correctly? I thought you didn't like blue. And I was like, I told her, I said, Fat Jenna didn't like blue. Skinny Jenna likes blue. I don't know why I didn't like blue for a while. Now I love it. Anyways, I'm knitting it out of Madeline Tosh, TML. Tosh Merino Light. I'm telling you, I feel like I keep bunching. Grasshopper and Bloomsbury. The original one is very close in colors. It is Grasshopper and Clover, but they quit making Clover. Wah, wah. I would have gone, because I love the original, the one in the pattern. It's been in my queue forever. So this is part of my Eat Sleep Knit 3rd quarter challenge, and the challenge was to go through your queue and pick one of your oldest queued items and knit it. So this is definitely one of my oldest queued items. I think I knit it like 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago. I had stuff queued before that, but I cleaned out my queue earlier in the year. I had a lot of crocheted stuff in there because I started off as a crocheter, and I am no longer a crocheter. So I cleaned it out, and this was one of the oldest things that I still was really interested in making. And the thing is when you knit something for their challenges, the yarn had to come from Eat Sleep Knit. So I really didn't want to buy yarn, but with all my credits and everything, I got 2 skeins of Madeline Tosh TML for like $12. Free shipping. Couldn't pass it up. I was like, okay, I'll do the challenge for that. That works. So those are the only 2 things on the needles that I've been working on besides all the stuff that I finished. So I am down now to 6 works in progress on Ravelry. The other day, I was down to 4. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. Like, it felt so good. So some are longer projects, like the Hexapuffs, which I don't know that I'm going to make any more Hexapuffs. I'm kind of over it. I might put them in a fancy little cute clear cookie jar looking thing and let them be. They can be pretty. And then I have my Vivid blanket where I've done 1 square. So I got to get going on that. And then my Even Star. And then I have a robot stuffy that I got to finish. I think he needs 1 more leg and then assembled. So I'm going to finish that in August, even though technically it wouldn't qualify for the knit along because I didn't start it. But he needs finished. So I have all kinds of yarny goodness. I was stressed last week, and when I get stressed, I take it out on yarn. God, I don't know where to begin. Okay, first off, I love with Eat, Sleep, Knit that if something is out of stock, you can add it to your wish list, and then you can click, there's a box that says click. You click it and it says notify me when it becomes available. And then you gotta update it. You gotta make sure you update it or that little check won't stick. So I did that and I got an email that this was back in stock, and I like zoomed over because I've been wanting this, and it sold out so fast. So it is Madeline Tosh. It is Tosh Merino Light because it's my favorite yarn base, I think, on the planet. I think so. Because it's so versatile. And it is Cosmic Wonder Dust. And it is like a cream with all these beautiful speckles. Lots of green and yellow and blue. And the camera, the lighting in here is totally washing out all the colors. So it is just so, in person, it is so, those colors are so vivid. And there's like neon yellows and oranges and pinks and some splashes of purple and aqua and green. And it's just so much fun. Lots of fun. So I really had been wanting a skein of that, so I splurged. So then, I showed you last week, just as a refresher, I want to knit the 3-in-1 sweater, and it's just called 3-in-1. Like, put a space in it, 3 space in space 1, because someone couldn't find it. 3-in-1. So I totally want to knit this pattern, and I ordered some Dream Color Smooshy and green and gray. So then I'm like, I have some store, I didn't have store credit yet. If I order one more skein, it's going to put me up to where I need to hit to earn another gift card, and I got a tote bag. So, runaway yarn. So I ordered a skein of K Chameleon, which is this beautiful limey green. It's much more lime, much more lime. In person, when I get it too close, it washes it out. So I got that to go with these. See if I can put it between these if it helps. And when I ordered that, I got a gift certificate and a tote bag. I love this tote bag. It's huge. And it's got the Eat, Sleep, Knit kitty on it, which I love. Because I love kitties. It's huge. It has a snap. It's so huge. And then I turned around because I knew I was going to earn the gift certificate, and I ordered this blue. It is a beautiful royally peacocky blue. It's not quite as bright as I'm seeing it. So this is going to be my palette for my sweater. Only I cannot decide what I want to do it in. At first I was thinking I wanted to have blue as the main color, so I ordered 2, which I shouldn't have done. Have the blue and green stripe at the top, and then like the kapow with the lime, and then gray at the bottom. And now I'm kind of thinking I want the greens to stripe, a kind of a kapow of blue, and then the gray. So this would be option 2. So option 1 is the green and the blue with the kapow of lime and the gray. That's option 1. And then this is option 2. I can't decide. So I had to order one more skein of this because there's only one left. And I thought, shoot, if they get a restock in, I might not get the same dye locked. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I'm confused. It's up in the air, but I have yarn. I definitely am going to knit that because I'm so in love with that pattern. So those are my Eat, Sleep, Knit purchases. And then I was at the LYS and I had some store credit from knitting samples. So I decided to use that in the bag, sorry for the crinkle. And I got 4 skeins of Fiber Space Vivacious DK, which is 100% superwash wool, 251 yards per 115 grams. So it's almost pushing a light worsted, probably. But it is the deep forest color. Oh, I love this so much. Oh, I was there. This was actually ordered for me. I was there when the yarn rep came in, and the shop owner was ordering from Fiber Space. And there was a cowl knit out of this, and to see it knit up, it was amazing. So I'm like, while we're ordering yarn, can I get a sweater quantity of that? Because they come 5 in a bag, and I knew I'd need at least 4. So it was actually ordered for me. I'm going to knit, it's called Emerald. I printed the pattern out, and of course I left it on the desk where I leave everything. And it is a short sleeve sweater, and it kind of has like this detail that runs right across like by the collarbone, and it gives it a little bit of flair to it, but it should be more than enough yardage to knit that. So I bought the pattern that's going to be on the needles. I'd like to get it on soonly. I don't think it'll take that long to knit. And then while I was there, the Noro had come in, and I'm actually working on a pattern, and I fell in love with this because there is aqua, there's like a blue in it, a corally orange. I think it's more orange. My daughter says it's more coral. A lime green, a little bit of brown. I'm trying to find a spot to show all the colors. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Love it so much. So it is Ayatori is the base. Ayatori. It is color number 15. I believe this is a newer base, I believe, for Noro, and it is very soft. The fiber content is 60% wool, 40% silk. So nice. So I just got one ball. It's all I should need. It's 50 grams. And then I did not buy this. It is yarn support for a sample for the shop, but I thought it'd be fun to show you what I will be knitting with at some point. Oh, it's so soft. It is Painted Desert. It's from Knitting Fever. Or it gets abbreviated KFI a lot. So it's their Painted Desert in the fingering, because I think they have it in a heavier weight. A DK maybe? Or a worsted. This is 100 grams, 437 yards. So it's kind of a lighter fingering. 100% superwash wool. This is color number 16, and it is this really deep teal and a burgundy. So pretty. The lighting in here is not optimal, but you get the idea. So lovely, and I have to make a shawl out of this. And then for some tools of the trade, I ordered buttons from this seller on Etsy, and I just have to tell her, I Instagrammed it, so if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. But I ordered 3 different sets of buttons because they were such a good price, and there were some that were exactly what I wanted. So here's the buttons, and I love, oh, I kind of split it. I love how they come. They go and like shrink wrap them, and they're like an individual little things. Like if you buy like, sometimes you buy Tums or, you know, some sort of stomach relief or antacid. They sometimes come in these, like a strip of little, and that's what it reminds me of. Super cute. So I got them on Etsy from a seller out of Hong Kong. The seller's name, I would pronounce it Landwood. It's L-Y-A-N-W-O-O-D. All one word. L-Y-A-N-W-O-O-D. And a lot, so I posted there and a lot of people checked it out. And I know like Dana, the Just One More Row audio podcast, and behind Unwind Yarn Company, I was saying that there were buttons that she paid $6 a piece for at Joann's, the exact same buttons. You could get a whole set for $6. So most of the stuff comes in 10 button sets. I think for 3 sets of 10 plus shipping, it was like $17, $18 for these fabulous buttons. So I only needed 3 of these, but they come in 10, and they were only a few bucks. And then I've been looking for these. They're like coconut buttons with little stitches around them. And then I just love these. And the shipping was like 20 cents to add on. And I'm like, well, I really like them. I want them. I'll just buy them now. Saves me in the long run. So super awesome buttons. And they came super quick between the time I ordered them and the time they arrived, 10 days. Which I think coming from Hong Kong is pretty good turnaround. And then these actually came last week, and they were on my desk. So I just show them this week. They are Girl Cave bags. I have this one. I have another one I'll show you here in a minute. I have this left over from other bags that I had made. And I was like, oh, there was like just enough to squeak out another one. And I love this fabric. I love this so much. So it is the ladybugs. And I think it's just red on the inside. Red. I always think it's fun to see what's on the inside. And then the bag that I'm super, super stoked about, because I love this fabric. My family and I, we have a thing for squirrels. We're squirrely like that. And when I saw this fabric, I had to have it. And it's a big print. So I was really kind of concerned because the whole thing is cool. You have these pretty trees with birds and butterflies, little mushrooms, little hedgehog family, with squirrels. And on the bottom there's pattern too. But it's a big panel, right? And the print is like mirrored. So I sent it to Susan, and at first when I was like showing it to her, she's like, I don't know how well that's going to work. And I'm like, I just really care about the squirrels. Like the squirrels. So this one is actually, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches taller than my guitar bag. Both pretty full. Yeah, maybe 2.5 inches. Super huge. And it's full. It's full of 11 skeins, a spun and close sweater that I have to knit. The right is rainbow. I love this bag so much. It is super huge. Super awesome. And it will house my sweater. And this just makes me so happy. These quirky little squirrels. Because it looks like it's, you know, how they would do like pieced quilting type stuff. It's kind of crafty looking. And I love it. Love squirrels. Thank God that's it. That is so it for all the knitting content. It was a lot. It was a lot. So, I think that's it. Although I do have to give a shout out to Josh, who is Auricula82. He has the Dairyland Knits podcast, and he was so cute when he mentioned me on his first episode, and he has the best laugh ever. Like, it's so infectious. I listen while I knit, and I look up. I mean, I do it with all podcasts that I watch. I knit while I listen and look up when I feel it's necessary. And he'll start laughing about it. He'll say something, he'll laugh, and it puts a smile on my face and kind of makes me giggle to myself. So he only has 4 episodes out right now. So I'm so glad I found him. I was talking with someone else, and they asked if I had watched him yet. And I really hadn't gotten a chance to really find any new podcasts, because summers are crazy. I don't have a lot of time to watch. Unlike some people, I know sometimes, their summers are more open and gives them more time. Mine's the opposite since the kids are home. Oh, I think I just heard thunder. We're supposed to get storms. Sorry. Distracted. It's going to squirrel. Anyways, I love the history he talks about and stuff. It's so funny because I feel like the actual, like, what he knits is small at the end. But all the stuff at the beginning is so interesting. It keeps me very entertained because I love history type stuff. And I love hearing him talk about the stuff he makes. Because I love all things crafty, and I'm totally jealous that he's canning and jarring things because I wish I knew how. I am cooking challenged in almost every form but baking. So, So I just wanted to be like, hi Josh, because I can. So check him out because it's so enjoyable. And like I said, I love his laugh. Love it. Okay, so that's it for the knitting officially, and we're moving into a slice of life. So I feel like part of the reason I got so much knitting done this week is because after busting my butt so hard, I kind of was like, gave the diet and exercise thing the middle finger and moved on. I mean, I ate good this week. Like, I stayed, I didn't go overboard, I didn't go crazy. The ladies at the shop or mainly the shop owner, were super supportive. Because Friday I went and I got a salad, and I got my salad with no croutons, no cheese, dressing on the side. I actually bought a set of just plastic, inexpensive measuring spoons and measuring cups to keep in the kitchen at the shop. Because we have like a little kitchen, just a little kitchenette type thing. And a room for a table, little sink, and a fridge. Microwave. Anyways, so I could measure out my salad dressing and be good. So then Saturday rolls around and I'm like, she's like, so what sounds good for you for lunch? And there's this Chinese place right across the street from us, and they have the best Chinese food. It is so good. It is so fresh and just, oh, it's delicious. They do an amazing job. And I could smell it because the window was open. Every once in a while when the wind would blow right, I'm like, let's get Chinese. And so she's like, yeah, I could go for some Chinese. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, screw the diet. And then she's like, getting ready to call in an order. She's like, you know, I think I'm going to go for a salad. She's like, but we can go to 2 places. We'll run to different places. And I'm like, no. If you're going to get a salad, I might as well get a salad because I'll see you eating your salad and I'll be all like, I should have got a salad. So I did. And I lost 1.8 this week. But it's the same, like, about 2 pounds I keep losing, and then I'll gain it back. And then lose it. And get it back. So we'll see next week if I get it back. I'm not holding my breath or anything that I've broken the cycle yet. But it made me really focused on my knitting this week, like getting stuff done, and it feels so good. So I think kind of getting the old stuff off the needles motivated me to like clean the house. Not that the house was like dirty. We had a lot of clutter. I mean, there's 5 of us in the house. And with kids, they outgrow clothes, they outgrow toys. We're constantly getting rid of things. And, you know, my oldest is a girl, so not much gets passed down to the boys. The boys are the same age, the same size, pretty much, and everything. So there's no one to hand anything down to, really. So we donate it. I mean, I don't live in an area where it's convenient to have a garage sale. I hate having a garage sale. I feel like it's so much work. And time to put into it. So I just take it and donate it to Goodwill. It's what we have close here. Or if I happen to know somebody. But I don't really know anybody who has kids my kid's age. And like my cousin who's having a baby. Like the kid's not even born yet. I'm not going to give my kids clothes. And they're 10 years old. So, but it felt so good. It felt so good. I cleaned out like the hallway closet where we keep the coats and the board games. And so much crap just got packed in there. It's like we didn't know where to put something. Let's put it in the coat closet. That's cleaned out now. It feels so good. It feels so good. I love it. So, and I'm like on a roll now. I really don't want to sit in it. I want to like go clean. I keep looking around like I have to go through that. I have to go through that. And it just feels good. And like I was talking, getting overwhelmed with my stash. I want to knit from it. Like, I'm like, I bought all these beautiful yarns. I had so many intentions. There were so many yarns that I love and patterns that I love. And I'm like, I need to get to them. So, the buying really will probably go, because I'm really motivated. I really, really am. That's just kind of where I've been this week. I kind of feel like, okay, I can't get rid of, like, the physical weight of things, but the emotional weight that the stuff has kind of taken over feels like I'm taking pounds off my shoulders. It just feels so good. And maybe it'll correlate, right? Like, you get rid of some of the stress and the physical clutter, and maybe some of the other clutter will flow with it. So I just told my husband, I'm like, we really need to go through and mainstream things, because it's so funny when I got like my first apartment and everything, and like the way I wanted it decorated and the things I wanted in it, the colors that I liked at the time, I so loved, right? And my mom's like, give it 10 years, your taste will change. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I love this stuff. I love these little knickknacks I bought. I love the color of this, you know, chair or whatever. And she's so right. Hate when that happens. Mom's always right. One day I'll just learn. And it's like I've been going through boxes. I mean, we've lived in this house 6 years now. 6 years as of the beginning of this month. And we still have stuff boxed up, of like stuff that hung on the walls in the old house and decorations that it doesn't go here. And really my tastes really have changed, and I don't want it anymore. And it's kind of bittersweet, because it's like, oh, I remember how much I love that picture or that thing when I bought it. Now I'm like, let it go. But it's a good feeling at the same time, and I keep telling myself somebody else is going to find that at the thrift store, and somebody else is going to be like, oh, I love that, I have the perfect spot for that. I hope. That's what I have to tell myself, to let it go. Because I could be a hoarder. I could be a total hoarder if I let myself. Well, not trash, but things. I could hold on to things, because I'm a sentimental person. I don't feel that I collect anything, but it's just hard sometimes to let things go. But I'm doing it, and it's successful. I've taken so many carloads of stuff to Goodwill this year. A lot of it clothes and toys from the kids, and clothes from myself. But to now kind of go through some of the home decor stuff is freeing. It's so freeing. So good. Try it. So, that's it. I'm going to go and upload this and find something else to organize, and I'm trying to purge my crafts. I want to craft all the things. I want to be a knitter. I want to be a sewer. I don't have time to learn cross stitch. I keep getting tempted by everyone's pumpkin stitch things, like the monthly things. I don't remember the name of the thing. I know it has a pumpkin in it, I think. Anyways, someone's shouting it at me. I can feel it. Anyways, I get tempted because they're so cute and they're beautiful, and it's such a talent, but I don't have time for all the things. I want to get heavily back into the scrapbooking. I need to get my kids scrapbooked, more updated, and I'd like to stick with the knitting, do a little bit of sewing. I really want to learn to make more clothes for me, and then I'm trying to let the rest of it go. I need to purge my craft stuff because there's not enough time in the world, and it's taking up space because I don't have a craft room. I don't have a designated area, so it's kind of crammed in my closet and in the hallway closets and wherever I can squeeze it, because there's not a designated space to have it. So, oh, one last thing before I go. Mugs! I only got one this week, so the mug section will be short and sweet. My friend Lindsay, who I feel like I have known for years, I mean I have known her for years now, through Ravelry. She is Little Lippy You, sent me one from Alaska. And we love this one. We love the moose. And I have a thing, I love whales. I don't collect anything whales, I don't have anything whales on it, but I love whales. I'd love to go whale watching one day. And I love how it has like a little boat, and then it has a whale tail. I love that. I love it so much. So, thank you so much, Lindsay. We had so much fun looking into Alaska. It's definitely a place that I would love, love, love to visit. It's on that list of places. So, yay! I'm so excited. So, okay. That's it for me this week. I am Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. I am RetroLemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Fitbit, and Weight Watchers. So until next week, I'll see you then. Bye.